Alright, and here's the video review for Kamen Rider Gaim Arms Change Kamen Rider Kurokage with the Tuliphopper and the MATSUBOKKURI arms. And now he's just in the standard box. It's a little bigger than usual, but very similar to the one that Gridion came on. And he's got the pineapple armor, the helmet, the body, the spear, and the Tuliphopper itself. And just the standard pictures on the box. I haven't shown off on these big boxes very well. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. But you get a look at some of the other figures in the line, the gimmicks, and all that good stuff. Plus some neat little shots of, here's the main Kurokage, and then the Kurokage troopers over here. And you can tell the difference because of the yellow belt and the helmet on the faceplates. These are the generic troopers to one side, and then the main Hase over here in the armor over in the pictures. And it's in the standard plastic tray, which will, it actually is not, it doesn't have the lid on it, it's just got a flat sheet that's molded in. I guess it's not flat, but it doesn't, it's not like a interlocking or docking case, it's just a flat piece like that. And you just pop everything out. Tuliphopper lock. The spear. Right there. The MATSUBOKKURI itself, the helmet, and the figure. I mean, there's not a whole lot different here than you've seen on all the previous arms change figures. It's the basic. It is Kurokage. It does seem to have the Gaim undersuit without any paint details aside from the legs and the things. None of the cross hatching on there, the padding on the underside is painted, or especially on the legs. But it does look like the standard. Yeah, it looks like Gaim's undersuit. It looks like the thigh pattern's a little different. I don't know. But it's Kurokage, and there he is in his base form. And the helmet, just like all the other ones, you open this up like this, and peg this into the back, and fold it all back up. And you can reenact his henshin. Come on. Yeah, get it all together. And then the pine cone could fall down on his head, just like all the other ones. Snaps into place, and then you open up the top, bring the shoulder pieces down, flip the chest plate down, and flip the back plate down, just like that. And his front and back plate tend to sit much like Baron, I think much closer to the body and look a little better than a plate like Gaim's that kind of folds in half, and because of the way the fruit is round, it kind of has to stick out a bit because of the way it folds. I do think his shoulders could have been, I don't think his shoulders are supposed to be quite that large in relation to the body, or at least not quite that squarish. Just something about the shoulder pads seems off. And, well, actually, you know what? Let me pick the box up here. Yeah, see, the shoulder pads are kind of squarish, but they fit a little bit more on his shoulders. They're more like pauldrons than these giant pieces of armor that the toy has. But again, it's one of the allowances that's being made for the toy itself. It's not. Let's see if we can get there. There's some black detail in the middle there. Now this is supposed to be Hase, obviously as you can tell because he has the yellow belt. But again, I'm sure a lot of people are buying these as troopers because they have kind of become the generic trooper for Yggdrasil in the show. I mean, you hold his spear, you can give him two-handed poses. I'm just going to just generically kind of just stick it in one hand here just to show you. But he does have the grippy fingers. He's got all the same posability as all the other previous Gaim figures. The ball joint head, the shoulders, the hinge elbows, the wrists, these two fingers and these two fingers together are hinged. A waist swivel, hip joints, thigh swivel. I mean, they're all there. If you've seen any of my arms change reviews, you'll know where they can move. So you get some decent poses out of him. Try to pose him in something crazy just to say you can get some decent poses out of him and then just leave him standing there straight up. Or he can thoroughly disappoint you when you try to review him. There we go. Nope, whatever. Just stay back there. Hase. And then they got the Tuliphopper Lockseed, which, again, it's a Lockseed vehicle. It's much thicker this way than a lot of them, just due to how it works. You unlock the button. That has no effect. You can leave it locked while you transform it. That one you can actually, this is one of the few Lockseeds you can actually leave shut and not have it affect anything. You pop it open, you bring this whole piece down, split the tulip and bring the pieces down like this. And then this gray piece on this one side you just flip down. That pegs in there when they're combined. Bring the legs all the way down. And you've got this kind of little hopping mech that we saw in the most recent episode. Now, at first I thought you could close this and then it looks more like a standard, you know, lock up here. But with this closed, when you have the figure on the thing, this sits right in front of their face. And by popping it up, it kind of gives them a little window to look through. So that's why you want to do that. And there's a couple handles here on the side. We'll go ahead and drop his spear. I mean, there are actually pegs on here for the feet to peg onto. So you can actually peg his heels, well, peg his heels onto the feet. Or onto the feet of the hopper. The hopper! Shut up, I'm trying to watch my movies! Hook them together. And you can grab the arms, and you can pilot the Tuliphopper. This is what I'm talking about. You can see his face through there, whereas if you close this, it's kind of right in front of his face. So yeah, so you can have him. And Gaim, of course, got on one of these and kicked some butt with it. It doesn't actually spring, which is a little bit of a shame, but it's a neat little mech. And then just as a bonus, since I felt like bringing him in, one, here he is with his quote-unquote nut brother, Greedon. So there's the acorn and the pineapple together again. So show that off. And also, the first time we saw, I don't know if it was the first time we saw him, but we did see, the first time we saw the Tuliphopper in the show versus the movie, was being ridden by a bunch of Kurokage troopers. So let's put him on this. There you go. There he is on the Tuliphopper. So yeah, there's another arms change figure from the Gaim line. It's a little, I don't know if it's just I've done this enough times already. It's not wowing me like some of the earlier ones did. And probably, I don't know, maybe it's just because the character's not on the show anymore and they're just generic troopers and that, I don't know. Something about him, like Greedon, I think is really well done. This guy, I'm not, I wish the shoulder pads were a little smaller, although I understand why it wouldn't work for the gimmick itself. It's not bad. It's a nice representation of Kurokage, and yeah, I really hope they give us a Sid or a Sigurd, because Duke's coming out. We know we're getting the the Kachidoki arms and the Jinba arms, and we got Duke, and we've got crap, what's his name? Duke and Shin Zangetsu. We haven't heard anything about Marika or Sigurd. We are getting Bravo as part of, it's actually up for pre-order now over at CSToys. You can order it. They just opened pre-orders this week for the Bravo arms change figure. So I really hope we get at least a Sigurd out of it before the end of the show, because I really like his design. But there it is, Kamen Rider Kurokage with the Tuliphopper.